The summary of Never Give In, brought to you by Click Through College. Never Give In. The Best of Winston Churchill's Speeches is an anthology compiled by his grandson, Winston S. Churchill. It presents a collection of speeches delivered by Winston Churchill, one of the most influential figures of the 20th century, renowned for his statesmanship, leadership, and above all, his electrifying oratory. Through his speeches, we trace the contours of his political career and gain a deeper understanding of the man behind the powerful voice that led Britain through its darkest hour and helped shape the world order during and after World War II. Early speeches. The early speeches of Winston Churchill form a crucial component of the anthology and provide significant insights into the making of the statesman. These speeches reveal not just Churchill's political ascent, but also his growing prowess as an orator and leader. In his early speeches, we can already see the seeds of the robust and commanding Churchill of the World War II era. Even as a young member of Parliament, Churchill demonstrated a remarkable ability to engage with audiences, present complex ideas in a relatable manner, and articulate strong positions on controversial issues. 1. Defense and Empire. One of the recurring themes in Churchill's early speeches is the defense of the British Empire. Churchill firmly believed in the mission and values of the empire and consistently argued for its preservation and expansion. He saw the empire as an embodiment of British power, influence, and values, and was unabashed in his imperialistic views. In a speech to the House of Commons in 1901, Churchill, then a young MP, robustly defended the British action in the Boer War. This war was contentious, with many criticizing the British government's approach. However, Churchill was an unflinching supporter, arguing that the war was crucial for maintaining British imperial interests. 2. Social reforms. While his views on the empire were undeniably conservative, Churchill also demonstrated a progressive streak in his support for social reform. A notable example is his backing of the People's Budget in 1909. The budget proposed revolutionary changes, including increased taxes on the wealthy to fund social welfare programs. Churchill argued that such reforms were necessary to address the rising inequality and to ensure a more equitable distribution of wealth. Churchill's speeches during this time also reflect his belief in the principle of trade unionism, marking him as a proponent of the rights of the working class. He spoke fervently about improving living conditions for the poor, including advocating for unemployment insurance, which was a significant leap in social policy at that time. 3. Naval expansion. One of the key policy areas that Churchill was closely associated with during his early political career was naval expansion. In a series of speeches delivered during his tenure as the First Lord of the Admiralty, from 1911 to 1915, Churchill passionately argued for a significant expansion of the British Navy. These speeches were delivered in the backdrop of escalating tensions in Europe, with Churchill foreseeing the possibility of a major conflict. His conviction that a strong navy was the best deterrence against potential adversaries shows his strategic foresight and his focus on national security. 4. World War I. Churchill's speeches during World War I are also quite noteworthy. He was one of the early advocates for a more aggressive military strategy. His speeches during this time highlight his belief in offensive action and his conviction that Britain needed to take the initiative to ensure victory. His leadership during the Gallipoli campaign, a notable failure, was heavily criticized. However, Churchill's speeches following the campaign demonstrated his ability to accept responsibility, learn from mistakes, and maintain his resolve in the face of adversity. His speech in the House of Commons in 1915, defending the campaign, showed his courage and his unwavering belief in his strategic vision, even when faced with failure. The early speeches in Never Give In. The Best of Winston Churchill's Speeches reveal Churchill's political evolution, his commitment to public service, and his unshakable belief in the British Empire. They also provide a fascinating glimpse into his development as an orator, showcasing the honing of a rhetorical style that would become his trademark and establish him as one of history's greatest speakers. From his fervent defense of the British Empire to his advocacy for social reform and national security, Churchill's early speeches lay the groundwork for the inspiring leader he would become. World War II speeches. The anthology's heart lies in Churchill's speeches during World War II, where he stepped up as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during one of the most challenging periods in human history. In the face of the looming threat of Nazi Germany, Churchill's speeches became a beacon of hope for the beleaguered nation and the free world. The "We Shall Fight on the Beaches" speech delivered on 4 June 1940, following the Dunkirk evacuation, encapsulates his defiance and determination. Faced with the prospect of a German invasion, Churchill rallied the nation with a message of indomitable resistance and hope. This speech underlines Churchill's conviction that surrender was not an option, even when Britain stood alone against the Axis powers. His refusal to consider a peace treaty with Germany was definitive, as was his resolve to fight to the last man if necessary. On 18 June 1940, Churchill delivered his "Their Finest Hour" speech. The fall of France had just occurred, and Britain was bracing itself for the full force of the German assault. Yet, Churchill turned this moment of despair into a call to arms. His ability to frame Britain's dire situation as an opportunity for the nation to display its courage and determination showcased his skill in utilizing rhetoric to uplift national morale. One of the most famous speeches, "Never was so much owed by so many to so few," delivered on 20 August 1940, was a tribute to the Royal Air Force pilots who were defending Britain against German bombing raids. Churchill masterfully used his words to underline the gravity of the situation while also celebrating the valiant efforts of the pilots. Post-war and Cold War-era speeches. Churchill's speeches after World War II demonstrate his foresight and understanding of the New World Order. His speech delivered on 5 March 1946, at Westminster College, Fulton, Missouri, popularly known as the "Iron Curtain" speech, was one such example. He foresaw the danger posed by the expansion of Soviet communism, signaling the onset of the Cold War era. Churchill's vision extended to the establishment of the United Nations and the formation of a "United States of Europe." He was a vocal advocate for unity among nations to prevent future wars and ensure global prosperity. This vision, he believed, was critical to maintaining a balance of power and ensuring peace in the post-war world. His speech at Zurich University in September 1946 highlighted his dream of a unified and strong Europe, a vision that eventually paved the way for the formation of the European Union. In these post-war speeches, we see a transformation in Churchill. He transitions from the role of a war leader rallying his nation, to a statesman articulating his vision for a peaceful world order. His ability to adapt his message to the changing times exemplifies his understanding of the evolving global political landscape. Churchill's oratory style and character. Never give in. The Best of Winston Churchill's Speeches provides insights into Churchill's unique oratory style and the character behind the speeches. His ability to engage with audiences, the strength of his convictions, and his skill in using language as a tool for motivation and persuasion are evident in every speech. His speeches were always meticulously crafted, filled with vivid imagery, powerful metaphors, and historical references, making them engaging, relatable, and inspirational. His style was unique in its blend of pathos, ethos, and logos, adeptly using emotional appeals, personal credibility, and logical arguments to make a compelling case. Churchill's character shines through his speeches. He was known for his tenacity, courage, and unyielding resolve, traits that are consistently evident in his public addresses. His speeches were not just about the elegance of language but were also a reflection of his character, beliefs, and convictions. However, the book doesn't shy away from showcasing Churchill's flaws. His stubbornness and rigid belief in his views often led to criticisms. His views on race and empire were contentious and remain a subject of debate. But despite his flaws, Churchill's leadership, his ability to inspire, and his foresight cannot be overlooked. Legacy. Winston Churchill's speeches are timeless. They resonate as powerfully today as they did when first delivered. His speeches in the House of Commons, his radio broadcasts to the British public, and his addresses to other nations remain an important part of history, capturing the essence of a tumultuous era. Churchill's speeches didn't just document the events of his time. They helped shape them. He utilized the power of words to rally a nation, to challenge his contemporaries, to articulate his vision for a better world, and, most importantly, to change the course of history. His speeches remain a testament to his leadership and provide valuable lessons in resilience, courage, and determination. In conclusion, never give in. The Best of Winston Churchill's Speeches is more than just a collection of speeches. It's a chronicle of history as witnessed and shaped by one of the greatest statesmen of the 20th century. It presents a man whose words stirred a nation, changed its course, and inspired the world. It highlights Churchill's journey from a young politician with strong convictions to a leader of the free world, painting a comprehensive picture of his political life. The book brings to life the man behind the legend and presents the eloquence, wisdom, and indomitable spirit of Winston Churchill. His speeches continue to resonate, inspire, and educate, standing as a testament to the enduring power of words and the indomitable spirit of humanity. The summary of "Never Give In"